Okay, so first part to come off the top, the carburetor. Alright, this will be on the video. What kind of carburetor is this? Remember, it mounts this way, come down from the top. Okay, what is this piece right here referred to as? What are these on the bottom called? And what size carburetor is this? We had a name for those. Okay, we'll talk more about this later on. However, right here, this piece, you can't see it very good. Let me get some light on that. This is a spring, and as this spring gets hot, it expands, and as it expands, it uncoils. It forces this rod up, okay, or it pulls the rod down rather, and when it does that, it pulls the choke off. So it's an automatic choke piece. Okay, it's a Holley carburetor. Not that you need to know that, but we'll be looking at some of the parts as we go along. Okay. It will be in a quiz. Again, what is this piece on top? What kind of carburetor is this? What are those guys there on the bottom? Those two things on the bottom. Alright. Alright. Here's the intake. This is the intake manifold on here on the top of the engine. It sits between the V. Alright. Right in here you'll see the firing order for this engine. So it's cylinders 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. Alright. And on these particular engines, it's 1, 3, 5, 7. On this side, this is the driver's side. 2, 4, 6, 8 down the passenger side. Okay. We'll talk some more about this as we get there. But that's what you know it looks like. The carburetor sits right on top of here. But there was a gasket here. It's stuck to the carburetor. And that's where that choke piece sits down in this well here where it can absorb all that heat. So as it absorbs the heat, that spring expands, or it bends, I guess. It bends more. Anyway, one way or the other. And it pulls the choke off when it does it. I'll just stop and think about that. It'll bend more. It'll coil more. And when it coils more, it'll pull the choke down. Anyway, it's physics. We'll talk more about that in a future video. This and this are both temperature senders. Normally you only have one on a vehicle. Because of the way this one was done, this is the standard one here. This one was, they drilled this after the fact. It was to keep track of what the temperature of the water was for two different places. This was the gauge on the dash, and this went back to the back of the vehicle. Same thing on the back here. Normally you only have one of these dudes. There's actually three of them on this vehicle where they're monitoring the oil pressure. So because this was the days prior to a lot of electronics, they're all mechanical. When they were electromechanical, but you had one wire went to the gauges, one went to the back, and one went, I don't know where the other one went. So, but they're all doing the same thing.